Hi everyone. Today me and the rest of the anger group are going to be talking about the differences between male and female adolescents in movies. More specifically, we're talking about the different ways anger is represented. So my group and I found 4 movies that we think showcase the difference in male and females really well. We'll also be diving a little bit into the gender schema theory and using it to further our thinking. So to start off, I'll be talking about the movie Mean Girls. Those who haven't seen the 2004 comedy film, here's a quick summary. So basically, the movie follows a young teen by the name of Cady Heron, and she begins her high school years in a brand new school as she was previously homeschooled in Africa. She's quickly embedded into the high school public culture. She meets 2 people that are on like the lower end of the totem pole, and then she also meets the most popular girl clique in school, which are known as the Plastics. They are the stereotypical mean popular girls, and if we really look at them, that's where we see the large representation of female anger. So when girls are young, typically they learn it's okay to be over emotional and it's okay to express your emotions except for anger. When we're little, we learn that it's okay to be angry, but don't showcase it. And we need to value our relationships and to hold on to them. And if we're going to express our anger to someone, that could potentially mean we lose a relationship with them. So, girls tend to express their anger through a behavior called relational aggression. This is when someone's actions revolve around hurting someone by manipulating or hurting their relationships with other people. And if I've ever seen Mean Girls, you know that this is a huge part of the whole storyline. So examples of this could be gossiping, talking about someone behind their back, spreading rumors that hurt someone's reputation negatively, and or sending harmful messages anonymously, either by text or through social media. So many females use this method because it allows them to express their anger towards somebody without addressing them personally or confronting them. Because when young girls are taught not to express their anger, they aren't taught how to confront someone or how to be assertive with their anger. So, girls tend to do this. I know for me, I did it when I was in middle school and a little bit of high school, and I know for probably a lot of the other girls in our class, like we've all gossiped before, talked behind someone's back. Like that's just how we express when we're angry at someone. Even like with our closest friends, like we'll go to our other friends and talk bad about them because we think it's gonna give us this social class when it really isn't. But that's how high school is for, I think, many public schools. But yeah, we do this a lot because in school everyone wanted to be popular, and that's the way we thought we would obtain popularity, is by bringing others down, as terrible as that sounds. But yeah, we do it a lot to maintain status. So returning back to Mean Girls, I do think the producers found this definition of relational aggression, and just ran with it. The whole plot of the story follows Regina, who's one of the Plastics, and Cady as they battle it just back and forth. Basically, it starts when Cady develops a crush on Regina's ex-boyfriend, Aaron, and that's basically when all hell breaks loose. The news quickly gets back to Regina through gossiping, and then as Regina goes to talk with Aaron for Cady, I think it's Cady, she ends up just going after him herself, and of course this angers Cady, and then it all becomes a big circle of sneaky attacks, because as she says, in girl world, all fighting has to be sneaky. So like she does things like she gives Regina a weight loss bar that's actually makes people gain weight, stuff like that. So the movie is filled with stereotypical female anger examples. Like you could watch it one way, like once all the way through, and you'll basically be able to create your own a definition of relational aggression. Like it's a phenomenal example of anger in women and females, especially at the young adolescent age. And just tying that into the gender schema theory, this movie is a key component in passing down the stereotypical gender norms for young females. Like, this movie obviously isn't going to change, and the younger generations are going to watch it and they're going to see, oh, that's how I gain popularity, or oh, that is the typical female role in emotion. Like, that's how I should express my anger, and bringing that back to like how young women are taught how to express their anger. But yeah, I think this movie and also the other three movies that we're going to talk about, they are key in just introducing the male and female roles in emotion, like the stereotypical ones that maybe a lot of parents are trying to get past and don't really necessarily want to bring onto their children. But unfortunately, movies like this and just being in school is going to keep the gender schema theory alive. So on to the next.
Hello class. The movie I'm going to talk about today, it's named No One Would Tell, and it's based on a real story from 1996. The movie is trying to portray a story about two high school sweethearts who were madly in love. They met in school, and it does touch really sensitive subject about violence. In the beginning of the movie, we can clearly see that there's no red flags about Bobby because, like any predator and abuser, he didn't show the signs at first, but later in the relationship. As the movie goes, we see how Bobby becomes aggressive, violent. He has no tolerance for Stacy or Stacy's friends, and he tries to manipulate her all the time. The movie tries to explain the reason why Bobby reacts certain ways sometimes, about him having an abusive childhood, an abusive father, and also an alcoholic mother. We can see that the violence of Bobby is not limited to Stacy but also to his mother. We see how friends try to interfere in the relationship, but it's not helping. As any other victim, Stacy couldn't let go of the relationship because she thought she was madly in love. Unfortunately for Stacy, when she tried to end things, it was too late. Bobby was too obsessed with her, he was not letting her go, and he ended up killing her. At the end of the movie, we see people trying to help Stacy, but it was too late because she was too deep in the relationship. Unfortunately, at the end, we can see that Bobby has no regrets of killing Stacy. As we can see, this movie is the perfect example of what a toxic relationship and aggressive relationship is. And as mentioned before, the behaviors portrayed in the movie were anger, aggressive behavior, violence, domestic violence, narcissistic, and controlling. These movies are perfect to teach our younger generations about certain situations in relationships.
I'm going to talk to you guys about the movie Friday the 13th and the notorious killer Jason Voorhees. Now, Jason, starting off back when he was a kid, he was a camper who was bullied and consistently chastised because he was deformed in the face and looked at as a monster and was socially exiled. Now, the fact that he couldn't make any friends, you would think that this would make him angry. Bully him, but they also ran him lead and not having any friends, you would have resentment towards those people around you. And not only did these people push you in the lake, they watched you drown. Very same people, but age. Now, Jason Voorhees, he started off as a kid who was socially exiled. Woodsman bullied him while he was young.
So I will be talking about the theme of anger in the Halloween series and how it gravitates more towards young male adolescents. Human beings exude anger in different ways. For instance, some human beings, as depicted in the Halloween, portray anger through violence. A study conducted by the Oxford Journal of Social, Cognitive, and Affective Neuroscience reveals that violence, as depicted in the Halloween, can alter an adolescent's behavior and attitude negatively. Adolescents are likely to become less insensitive and aggressive. While producers and writers consider the stories fiction, particular adolescent lots are likely to try out whatever they see at home. The main character in this movie series is Michael Myers. In his first appearance in the particular production in 1978, where he murders his younger sister, later on he features in other episodes where he attempts to kill more teenagers. In the movie series, Michael Myers is a pure depiction of evil and death from the way he kills human beings with all sorts of weapons that range from electric saws, knives, axes, and hoses. To say that he is in a killing spree is an actual understatement. From the look of things, the cast depicted in this particular horror genre render themselves as pieces of meat to be devoured by Michael Myers. Before the end of every deadly scene, Michael Myers is showcased arranging the carcass of his victims before he moves out to his next target. Furthermore, his evil nature is even depicted by his physically and robotic motion-like movement. He's been showcased as tall, and he never lacks a weapon to inflict pain in his victim as well. I can honestly say that there is a big difference between male and woman when they watch horror movies. Male actually enjoy the violent and frightening materials, whereas women tend to become more stressed and have more anxiety after watching horror movies. I've realized that males gravitate towards like horror movies because the killers are always males. If the roles were reversed and the killer was a female, I don't think males will get the same like rush and like the thrill, because women are portrayed as victims in the movies and men like to see other men kill because they think it's cool. Horror movies contain psychological tricks that create illusions of suspense, danger, through the manipulation of images, sound, and story. As we know, Michael Myers is driven by an evil desire to kill his bloodline, and he only wants to kill them, but if you get in his way, he's definitely coming out to get you too. And I honestly think like this will have an effect on the males when they get older, because let's say someone in their family did something horrible to them. They already have this obsession with Michael Myers and killing. They think, like, this is so cool what he's doing. Like, it's okay. Like, he's getting payback for whatever his people did to him when he was younger. So they feel like, okay, someone did me wrong. I'm going to act out. I'm going to get a knife and I'm going to hurt them. They think it's okay because they saw a famous killer do it. So why not do it?